It's all about quality and quantity on Brewsday Tuesday. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Brewsday Tuesday, Sonic Temple Recap Edition 2024, of course. It is yours truly, DreZ, along with Big Nate. We have some beers from Columbus that I brought back. Now, while Brewdog is actually based out of Scotland originally, but there is the main American joint is in Columbus, which I have still yet to visit. One year, I think it must have been the COVID year. We were planning on going to stay because it's a brewery and they got the hotel. Didn't happen, but so I still haven't been there. However, I do have from Brewdog the 95, which I've never had before, so I was happy to grab it. It's the lightest way to IPA, only 95 calories. Tropical Session IPA, and I tell you what, only 4%. This again would have been a good one to have in the festival because it's light. I'm sure it's going to be refreshing. And the fact that it's light in calories is good because you know what? I had done that whole big diet. I lost all this weight. I was like the lightest I'd ever been. Pretty sure that's all out the window. I haven't gotten on the scale yet. I'm too scared to. But
don't do it. You look fine. You look good.
It's oh gosh.
As long as you're not changing clothes or pant size, you're fine.
But I thought about it and I was like, damn, what a mistake, because I hadn't really, when I was doing that dieting stuff, I wasn't doing my normal workouts. And then I'm at this festival with crowd surfers and stuff. And I was like,
so
damn,
tired.
I feel like I don't have the strength I'm used to having in these situations. But
I'll let you babysit a toddler or two for a week. You'll get that strength back. I've got the Land Grant. Oh, sure. IPA. Oh, because they're in Ohio. Oh, nice.
And I feel like it's like, oh, you want a beer?
Oh,
sure. Yeah.
It's I mean, there's a lot on this can. All welcome. We make beer for you. I'm looking for the ABV because I'm blind as a bat. 6.4% ABV. Oh, sure is both the result of constant tinkering as well as the ethos of all we do here at Land Grant. Our hybrid of new school juicy and tropical flavor with traditional American IPA craftsmanship results in an approachable and balanced IPA. They say, how's it taste? Bright, approachable, clean. But I think the thing that stands out the most to me here on the back and like a really tiny logo, the beers with the Brewers podcast, Land Grant Brewing Company. Apparently they have their own podcast that they're advertising on their beer can. Wonder if they guide you to what your pairing should be.
I don't know.
There's too many podcasts. Everyone
ain't got
has
the
one.
time for the podcast. Yeah. I mean, technically, I guess this is even being podcasted, but that's after it's on the radio. We're the OG in that department. So obviously I had to play some Pantera because Pantera headlined on the Saturday night, which was the big one for me, obviously, being a big fan. And I am happy to say that I got the right amount of liquid courage in me to be in the pit basically the whole time. As I said, Chief was in there with me right next to me for most of it, which was fantastic.
Battle buddy.
I definitely was feeling a little bit rough afterwards. I got popped in the mouth by somebody's elbow at one point, I believe. I think it was an elbow. I don't know what it was, but at one point I just got a little bit tinged there.
What song was it during?
See, here's the thing. I had the right amount of liquid courage. I can't remember exactly when that happened. I'm
going to say it was Domination.
I also feel bad for, and I guess I could go ahead and give him a shout out. It was, what's this guy's name? I have a picture of it. Hang on. Because so during Pantera, I saw and found on the ground Serge Gravel's ID card. Serge is from Quebec.
So you lost your ID.
Yeah, and I felt bad because I picked it up with the intentions of taking it to Lost and Found. But again, in the heat of the excitement and fun, I kind of forgot. Plus, after Pantera, I went back into the media area, and once you know it, there's Dimebag's wife, Rita. And I got to meet Rita after seeing Pantera in Columbus, Ohio, of all places.
Yeah.
So And like I said, I've been drinking whiskey. I got a little emotional. I really did. Like it was quite the experience. And she was just such a sweetheart. And she invited me the following day. She's posted up. They have a whole tent. It's Dimebag Hardware, just a whole
Yep.
series in line. And they do, I'm pretty sure like proceeds go to, like funding and getting instruments for kids and stuff, which is really awesome. And she said, come to the tent tomorrow at 3:33 dime time, and we'll drink some whiskey and Dime's memory. So I was definitely not going to miss that
Yeah.
appointment. And it worked out perfectly because Bad Religion, one of the other bands that was certainly top of my list, they were finished at 3:20. So it was like, watch Bad Religion, head over for Dime time. And when she invited me to go after the set that Saturday night, I thought it was going to be like a whole big toast thing with like a bunch of people and like
Yeah.
a shot lined up or whatever. No, it was just me and her. Just me and her.
That's amazing.
And she told me the story of Dime Time. Do you know about Dime Time?
I don't.
Well, it's 3:33. And how that started apparently was the guys used to go on what was that MTV? Headbangers Ball.
Headbangers Ball.
And they noticed that when Phil was on there getting interviewed, he would oftentimes like play with his ear, like he would like scratch it or dig in it or something. And they just noticed he kind of had this tick. And it started from that, and then they would point it out, and then somebody realized that they talked about how in cartoons the ears are just kind of drawn like a 3.
Yeah.
So then, unbeknownst to Phil, they would just say like when he would do it or whatever, they would call him and be like, "Oh, it's 3, 3." You would just say 3, and then 3 started. He got wind of it eventually, and then it just started to be a thing. Whenever anybody would scratch their ear, they would say 3, and then it somehow tied into 3 was also the time that they would want to get catering before food, before a show and stuff. And then eventually, I don't know, somehow it turned into 3:33, and it was associated with Dimebag because he would clowning on Phil for all that. So that was it turned into Dime Time. And she told me this great story about all that, and then did a shot of whiskey with her, and she's just such a sweetheart.
What whiskey?
Well, she actually didn't have. Again,
Huh.
I thankfully I had
The belt
brought
buckle come in handy?
thankfully, well, actually, I didn't go for the belt buckle, the Pantera belt buckle, by the way, but I did have my Dimebag flask, which I wasn't planning to drink from. But she even said, she was just like, "Yeah, I don't have the usual." Actually, I was just like, "Well, here I had it was just Evan Williams white label. I brought the white
Oh,
label.
yeah.
That's what I was drinking because I knew that."
Did you get it at the Kroger?
No, but you're right. I should have actually looked to see if they had more of it. But no, I brought that from home. But so did that. And then of course started to scour and was like a kid in a candy shop with all the awesome Pantera and Dimebag stuff that was in there. So I got some guitar picks. I got a patch that I think I told you just off the air. Unfortunately, I can't find that patch. I don't know where that ended up. I'm a little bummed that my
Your buddy in Quebec has it.
it might be.
You guys need to contact each other.
Might be. But what else did I get? I got a shirt, which I will wear in the future, but I also got something I thought you might appreciate. Oh, I have the forgot about that. Was off the air too. Did I mention that?
You
During the
you
song?
mentioned it.
But I got the Red Fang 3
Oh,
dime bag
yeah.
hot sauce. I know you have
I love hot
a
sauce.
fan of that. So it does come with a caveat. You got to let me try it or whatever, with
Well, yeah.
something somehow. But yes, they had dime bag hot sauce. I mean, I got stickers. I got the shirt. I was like, I just want it all. Need it all.
So this is made specifically to pair with Bloody Marys.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna have to have Bloody Marys.
All right, we could do a Bloody Mary show.
There we
I'm not
go.
a big fan of Bloody
I know you're
Marys,
not, but I am.
but I'll try it.
I mean, it's the Abbott brothers took their food very seriously. So I'm
Yes.
pretty stoked on
I'm pretty sure. I think Vinny has a cookbook.
Vinny does have a cookbook. Vinny also would just throw these ridiculous Chad Gray was telling the story. Vinny would have these parties at his house, and just like everybody would be there. It was like the most ridiculous scene.
Just a
But
gigantic
like Vinny would
barbecue.
just stay there and barbecue all day, get real drunk, and then like they just have these random like jams with all the different musicians there.
Ah,
They knew how to party.
they definitely knew how to party through and through, man. Oh, so fantastic. But yes, and obviously the show was great. I'm sure you could see snippets on YouTube and this and that. And if you're looking at, so I was again stage right, which would be if you're looking at the
House
stage,
left.
the left. Yes, exactly. I was basically right up front and in that sort of that pit. So if you're watching any videos of the Pantera performance or Misfits for that matter, I mean, that was pretty much where I was for the whole weekend. But look for that and look for a gentleman. I guarantee you, I was the only gentleman wearing, especially that day, a leather jacket with a battle jacket, denim battle jacket with patches and stuff on top of it, bandana. Although the bandana came off during the pit of Pantera, that didn't stay
Naturally.
on, so may or may not have been wearing a bandana, but you might see me in there, right next to, very near a very large
Chief.
Indian chief. Yes, that's where you'll spot me in the crowd.
I haven't done the digging into all the footage, because usually you a lot of these people, the bootleggers, will come home and put their stuff together and master.
Yeah,
it,
it's
mix it.
uploaded there. I
So
mean,
I haven't seen any of the good ones yet, but I did see Slipknot's, and I only saw that because an article was posted about Clown not being there.
Exactly. Yeah, they came on and said it was funny because right beforehand, someone standing next to me made a comment about how somebody was afraid of clowns, and then they were like, "Bastard." And then I looked, I was just like, wait a minute, where is Clown? And then the very next break between songs, Corey addressed that apparently he hurt his tooth.
He broke a tooth, and
Broke
like
a
they had to
tooth.
have it removed, and apparently it didn't go well.
Oh.
So he had to stay home. He
Okay,
wasn't
see, I
fit
hadn't
to
heard all
fly.
those details yet and stuff, but yeah, apparently he's got a bum tooth, but he insisted that we have to come here and play for you guys even without him. So, but it was my first time seeing Slipknot with the guy from Sepultura, Ivan, on the drums.
Aloy.
Yeah,
Casa Grande,
Aloy. Yeah, there you go. Casa Grande. Couldn't remember how to pronounce his name.
big house.
Yeah, so that was good. Yeah, they were great, man. I mean,
They always put on a good show.
It is.
Feel how you do about them. They're a staple. They're solid live. It's one of those where I don't think the sum is necessarily equal to the parts. Corey's gone off and done some cool stuff. Jim Root has, but to me, Clown is the only one. As long as he's still kicking, I think Slipknot will still be there in the front. But they also have a original Misfits situation going on at this point.
a little bit. The person that didn't bring it. So, interestingly enough, Limp Bizkit played. They opened and closed with Break Stuff.
Such a lineup.
The funny thing was, what song was it? It wasn't Break Stuff. It was, I can't remember the song off the top of my head, but it was one that everybody knows, except for the guy that he brought out of the audience to get on stage and sing it with him.
Oh no.
Dude was in a full Corey Taylor Slipknot get up and just was terrible. Absolutely terrible. He like didn't even know the words. It was so bad.
Oh.
It was embarrassing.
I don't know if when I see those things, I don't know if I'm rooting more for the person to forget the words or to like
It was
do
terrible.
a killer performance.
No, you wanted him to get up there and slay it, but he didn't. And it was just like, what are you doing, man? Like maybe he was just I mean, that would be nerve-wracking. I mean, to get up there, but in front of, I mean, gosh, tens of thousands of people or whatever, but you got to do something. Get up there and swing those fake dreadlocks that are attached to
Yeah.
the mask, at least, to do something,
That bad.
man.
Fine.
That was pretty bad, but I'm trying to think of some other standouts. Judas Priest was great. That was because they were on the.
Had you seen them before?
Yeah, I've seen them before, and they were on. So new this year they had 4 stages. They had the Temple stage in the main stadium, and then they had the dueling stage kind of thing, like side by sides, right outside where it used to just be one stage.
Which those are perfect if you post up between them.
Except between them is a barricade.
Oh,
So that's what kind of sucked is that you
Ozfest
couldn't
06,
really,
there was
you had to go all the way, that the barricade in the middle kind of sucked. I really didn't like those stages. The other stage was further away, and that was the cathedral stage. That was honestly, I think, my favorite stage because, you didn't need the field passes to get down there, that anybody could be there for all the shows. That's where Kitty played. That's where Sum 41 played. That's where 311 was, and Judas Priest, and some other good ones. So it was good. I liked the setup this year. It was a little different than years past. Every year you got to get in there, you kind of get the lay of the land and figure it out. But I think they had a pretty
that
good.
lineup's wild. Like some of the things that they've put together with that festival just blows my mind.
Yeah, and the thing is, my only criticism would be, and I know why they do it. You want to get, you have the infrastructure there. Instead of 3 days, let's do 4. Sell more tickets and just book more bands. But 4 days is a lot, man. It really is. It's tough. I'm just getting old, I guess. But the Ink is the one that's coming up, I guess, July. And that one's only 3 days, which I think is the right number for a rock and roll.
You gonna finally get that ink?
No. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be going to Ink this year, I don't believe. But all right, we digress. This Brewdog, the 95, nice, easy drinker, a session IPA. It's right in the name, dude. This is a great session. It's got some awesome flavoring to it. Only 95 calories. So if you're watching your waistline, it works out pretty good. And 4%, man, you can drink this thing all day. It's great. 4.0 but it's better than a 4.0. I'll give it 4.25. No, I'll give it 4.5 because this is, you come across these low-cal beers and usually they don't taste very good. This one actually is quite good. So I'll give them some love on that, man. 4.5 easily.
So on the Osher, I mean, they brag about it being bright, approachable, clean, which it absolutely is. It's very refreshing. I don't know if necessarily this would be my go-to IPA, but they say they make beer for everyone. They make beer for you. And I think they are trying to broaden the horizons of IPA drinkers. It's not going to be my favorite IPA in the world, but it's good. I think it's a quality product. I'm going to give it a 4.
4 for sure.
It's tasty, but had better IPAs.
All right, I'll give it a whirl. Next week, again, we may or may not have a special guest, but either way, I brought back some more beer from Ohio, so we got that in our back pocket for sure. That's a wrap on Brewsday Tuesday. JT up next with Just Tunes. A reminder, tomorrow I will have more tickets to see comedian Brad Williams in Roanoke at 4:20. Until next time, see you.